It means a lot to me. Like I was saying the whole time, build up to the final as much as I do want to win at that. I'm proud of how far I got and proud of the work that I put in, and I couldn't have done any more, so whatever happens, happens from now on.
I knew the flavours were there and the food was there, so I just wanted to come in and showcase the best of Irish ingredients and put them onto a plate, and I feel like I've done that today. Hopefully the judges agree.
It's amazing, like it's a fantastic experience. Win, lose, draw, it's a brilliant experience. I believe that your environment influences you and should influence the food that you cook, more importantly.
Pulled some 20-hour days the past couple of weeks. It's been really tough. I know my dishes, practice them, I know what I have to do. And watching those big guys is just going to distract me, you know.
After today, I'm confident in my dishes. Obviously, I haven't tasted the other lads, but if I win, I'll be delighted. If I don't, I'm still happy with what I put up.
It's a fantastic feeling, but slightly nerve-wracking because it's in their hands.
It just comes down to, on the day, what the judges think.
The future is bright in this country, and it really is. You know, we've serious talent, but they've all stepped up to the mark, you know, and it takes a lot of work to get to this last 5 people, and it takes a lot of commitment, and you know, the ones that did it, they shone through.
I was impressed especially by the way they were working. Very neat, very clean, very good techniques.
I have judged a lot of competitions in my time. I was served today the best dessert I've ever been served in a competition by one of the young lads, and 1 or 2 of the fish main courses were as good as anything I've ever been served.
There was some outstanding dishes that I'd be happy to serve in my restaurant.
It's a competition, but it's more like a co-opetition. It's like everyone helping each other, that it'll all grow better, stronger. The whole restaurant industry seems to be behind this. You know, it's really impressive.
The food tonight was marvellous, but it's that new approach to how we in Ireland do business.
Whatever happens, win or lose, you will grow as a chef, as a human being, as a person.
The winner of the 2014 Euro-Toques.
I never entered this competition solely to win it. I entered this competition to learn, and I've learned a great deal, and I think by winning it now, I'm going to learn a great deal more.
It looks like a pear, tastes like a pear, it should be a pear, it shouldn't be anything else.
There's always something, and as soon as you think you've learnt it all, you're finished.
As a person, I am a chef. It's who I am. It's part of me.
I need to work with my hands. I'm not a sit-down kind of book person.
Being a cook is something that you have to be very dedicated to. It's a good lifestyle you choose.
We're always constantly learning anyway. We're always constantly changing and evolving. And I think if I was to look back in 10 years' time, I'd be going, what's he doing, you know? What was he thinking?
There's always something, and as soon as you think you've learnt it all, you're finished. Forget about it. There's always something new with cooking.
It's an ever-expanding world, ever-evolving world. It's changing every year, every month.
I just want to learn as much as I can before I do anything. And one day, hopefully, run and own my own restaurant.
You learn every day. Every day is something new. Just coming in here today some things I've never used before.
The best thing about Irish food is the produce. The produce is world class. Dairy products, meats, it's absolutely world class.
You've got a plethora of the Irish larder to pick from, and I think the world needs to start to see that. Like, there's so much that Ireland has to offer being such a small country, but the produce is amazing.
Irish food is, I really believe, some of the best in the world. You have such great producers and such great local seasonal food.
I just love what I do. It's different. It is a job, but when you're doing something you love doing, like, it's not as hard to go in. Like, there's days there where you're like, oh, why am I doing this? But then if you have a cracking service, you have excellent service, you're just going home on a high. Like, you know, you're so happy with yourself.
We all do it because we love food. We love working with the produce that comes in every day. And we just love the buzz of working in a kitchen, working with some great other chefs and learning every day.
I think my ma would be one of the reasons I do the competition, where she doesn't understand what Michelin stars are, but she can understand the final five in Ireland. And that's something that I think I do these kind of things for my ma to be proud of me.
This is the first competition I've ever done, so pretty chuffed to be in the final. It's a great feeling, but no, I mean, it's cooking, it's what I do for a job, it's what I love to do. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, I think. Well, my vegetarian dish is called in-season veg. I'm doing pickled, raw, some cooked. I'm doing a smoked beetroot and goat cheese mousse with that, a carrot aioli, some crispy veg, and a hazelnut and truffle dressing. For my second dish, I'm doing pheasant two ways. I'm roasting the breast, the leg I'm braising, and I'm doing it in a pie with a suet pastry topping. I'm doing that with a Jerusalem artichoke puree, Jerusalem artichoke fondant, some glazed chestnuts, some roasted ceps, some cabbage, and a licorice jus. I'm very focused. I know exactly what I need to do. I've practiced my dishes a lot. We're chefs, like, we know how to cook, do what I know how to do best, and just get on with it.
It's been a huge amount of hard work. Like, I'm used to doing long days, long hours, but On top of being in the kitchen, I'm preparing for this final day that I've been waiting for. My dish today, I have a smoked honeycomb with celeriac with sour apple and Landlear honey. This dish is celebrating my celeriac that's in season today, and I put a bit of a twist on it by introducing a honey theme that goes along with a bit of funny food memory that I have. I think the quirkiness of the dish will stand out, but mainly the flavours and the taste will, I think, hopefully that they'll enjoy. It means everything to me. Like, as a chef, to be given an award by other chefs, judged by other chefs, means everything.
It's taken an amazing amount of hard work, a lot of dedication, sleepless nights, and just not having any days off in between, and just concentration and working under a lot of pressure. I'm doing a vegetarian dish of gnocchi with pearl barley, winter vegetables, smoked almonds and goat skirt. The reason it rolls into the food memory aspect of it, because if you think of pearl barley, you think of potatoes and veg, you're automatically going to think of Irish stew, and it's a take on that, because obviously everyone had stew when they were younger as a kid, and this is a way just making it more modern, making it a lot more presentable. It means a lot to me to be here, for me to be here. It's an amazing opportunity. It's great for all young chefs, and it's great to be representing young chefs in Ireland. Yeah, I'm happy with how it went. It all went to time plan, and it looked how I wanted it, and everything tasted how I wanted it, so I'm happy. It couldn't have gone better, and I'm happy overall with how everything turned out. Whatever happens, I'll be happy, because it's been a great experience.
A lot of hard work, a lot of very, very sleepless nights. Just determination, hard work, what it is. The dish I'm doing the two dishes. The vegetarian dish I'm doing is roasted Jerusalem artichoke with black truffle and a cleaver head sauce. And then the pheasant dish I'm doing is pheasant roasted on the crown with pear crumble and foie gras and celeriac bonbon. Very simple dishes, very classical dishes, classical flavour pairings. I don't know, I wouldn't like to comment on any of the others. I can just say I like my dishes, I believe in them, so that's all. See you later. I think, yeah, I was happy with how it looked. There was a little bit of the carbon on the pigeon that I was happy with. I left a little bit of the blood on the pigeon, but yeah, happy.
My food memory would be the batch, you know. If you had nothing else in the house, I mean, you always had a batch. If you didn't necessarily have jam, you had sugar to sprinkle on the batch. So, I mean, as children, it's what we would have grown up with all the time.
Did you have a bit of butter?
We would have had good lashings of butter now. You know, if it was to do anything, we had a good lashings of butter and a good bit of homemade jam would be fantastic now. Now I done it kind of like a SpongeBob SquarePants kind of slice of bread with different jams in it. I do blame Kevin Thornton. Obviously, he's affected me in a lot of different ways. He's an inspiration, plus as my children. So I mean, look at this, the loaf, one of Ireland's oldest recipes, and I think it does exactly what it says in the tin. You know, buy it today, eat it today, dump it tomorrow. It's fantastic.
One of my first memories, I think, was the cleaver. My mum always had this in case we screwed up at hand, but it was really for the bones, for the marrow. And she was really into dumplings, and it was always like kind of stewy stuff. And the first day would be white stew, or clear stew, second day would be white stew, and third day would be brown. So what she did is that we'd have the marrow in the middle, and then we'd have dumplings, turnips and leeks around the plate, and that was it. And it was kind of like pot stew, a meal in a pot sort of thing. But I remember it always reminds me of winter, you know, the dumplings, because they're heavy. But the amazing thing is the third day it always tastes the best, and that was because it matured.
Yeah.
It matured.
So it's kind of Fergus. She was ahead of her time. It was like Fergus Henderson.
Well,
the tail.
No, it was just normal.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the thing is that when we grew up, we took things. Didn't ask you what you wanted to eat. Yeah. Like dinner was there. If you weren't there on time, you wouldn't get your dinner.
Yeah.
You know,
Give it
so
twice, no?
yeah, take or leave it. That's the choice. There is no choice.
Why you're not getting up from the table until it's finished.
Yeah, but the most important thing is that season was just no. You didn't even think about the season. That's what it was. Like now, it's all about is it in season or is it not in season. Then it was just that's what it was. Well, now I would put it into a bowl and take the bone out, put the marrow in, because that time we didn't eat the bone. You ate the bone that time, but you don't eat it now. And just small dumplings. Makes dumplings smaller. Use baby carrots or teenage carrots rather than large carrots, and boil the stock slowly for 2 days. You know, to get beautiful colour. Little saffron, vinegar to get shine in it and get that beautiful auburn colour, and pour it in at the table.
Well, my memories is really simply a tin opener, because I was youngest of 8 and my mother was totally fed up with cooking by the time she got to me, and she just a scissors and a tin opener, any kind of convenience food, not even that was later, but any convenience food, I was like a guinea pig. Frey Bentos steak and kidney pies, instant whip. It was horrific, but we used to. I mean, the thing about it is, like, we all became reasonably good cooks because we would do anything to stop our cooking. So that's when I started cooking at home, and that was it.
Is that the first time you spoke about this, Paul? Have you spoke to me?
Yeah. Oprah. Yeah.
You wish.
But having said that, like I think that if people can make really good food out of, I won't say processed food, you know, at home I use a lot of butter beans and chickpeas still to this day, because I think you can make something really nice really quickly. And you know, even at work, I think you can use something like this and be a bit witty about it. And so I have a dish just to show you a little bit of something that we might do. And this is just really badly drawn of. It could look. This is a pig. No, it's not. This is supposed to be my short ribs, and then just look a nice, neat reflection of certainly of something that we didn't have at home. So I'm just serving it with some slaw, beetroot from our garden down the tannery, and some beans that I cook with maple syrup and cider and lovely smoked bacon. And you can have simple ingredients, just treat them really well, and they'll all come together, hopefully, into something nice.
The green sauce, Paul?
The green sauce is little. These are micro herbs. Big into micro herbs at home. Can't get enough of them.
But I guess my early food memories was basically trips to the beach with my family. My mother and sisters would prepare a beautiful picnic basket which we'd take, and after running ragged on the beach then we'd come back and we'd sit down to like what I thought was a fantastic feast. So what I've done is I've basically modernised it slightly by creating like a garden theme on the plate, or a picture on the plate. I created a blanket made from chocolate which resembles the colour of the blanket we had years ago, and this is what it would look like. This is always a little bit flat looking, but I've just named it the picnic. Well, I think my earliest food memories would be my mother and my grandmother. I was brought up partly on a farm, and they were always preparing. They seemed to be in a constant state of preparing food, I suppose, for the men coming in off the land. But the part that really excited me is when I saw the flour coming out on the countertop, because that meant, you know, the goodies were coming out, the dessert, and they had sweet tooths, and there was always making a tart of some kind. Now, I suppose you'd always find a bit of rhubarb around the farm, or some Bramley apples and stuff like that. So it was kind of a Pavlovian reaction for me to run for the stool. And I'd run and get me little footstool, and up I'd get to the counter and stick me little face over the counter. So I'd be watching intently as they rolled out this pastry. It was a kind of a magical kind of ceremony. But what I knew was that at the end of this, what I would get to is to lick out the bowl. And you know that combination,
You stick your hand
that
there.
combination
Wouldn't fit.
of sugar and egg yolk and flour and the crunchy bits you take, run your finger around it like that.
Nursery rhymes. My kids
And
would
you
love
get
you.
as
get to
much
sleep
of it
at
on
night.
as you could, and
Oh,
you
he's gonna
just
do
go,
it.
and then you wait for the crunch of the sugar. Jesus,
That's nice.
marvelous.
I'm actually.
So today, my modern interpretation is of simple raspberry and shortbread millefeuille.
My earliest food memory is standing on a bucket, not a champagne bucket, but a bucket, peeling spuds into my grandmother's enamel sink. And so that's my earliest food memory. And my grandmother was a huge influence on my cooking career. So my mother couldn't cook, she'd managed to burn water. So we used to always go over to my grandmother's and
For a decent bit of grub.
for a decent bit of grub, yeah.
I hope your mother sees this video.
So that's for food memories, peeling spuds into a bucket or into a sink, standing on a bucket. I still need to do that because I still haven't grown. And then for me to change that to modern, on my plate, I've done. It's pan-seared monkfish with potato gnocchi, baby beets, red chard, and a salsa verde.
I knew that's what it was.
You didn't even have to.